The wind was dead still when I turned off the highway and followed the dirt road. My GPS said I was close, but there was nothing out there, just empty fields and old fence posts. The job came out of nowhere, an email from Erebos Industries. They said they needed someone to climb an old signal tower and restore power. The pay was big, too big for such a small task. I didn't ask questions. I just said yes. Still, the message bothered me. It didn't have a logo, no signature, nothing professional, just coordinates and a single line at the bottom. Arrive before sunset, work alone. I parked when the road ended. The tower stood ahead, tall and crooked against a gray sky. Half the top looked melted. The ground around it was black, cracked like glass. The air smelled like burnt metal. I grabbed my harness and headset, stepped out, and stared up at the thing. It didn't look safe, but money's money. Easy job, I muttered. Up, fix it, down, simple. The metal felt cold when I touched it, colder than it should have been. I clipped my harness and started climbing. At first, it was fine. I found my rhythm hand, boot, clip, move. The kind of climb that made me feel alive. About 50 feet up, my headset crackled. I hadn't even turned it on. Static hissed, rising and falling, almost like breathing. "Jake," a voice whispered. I froze. The sound was soft but clear. "Jake, stop." I yanked the headset off. My heart was pounding. I looked down, half expecting to see someone at the base. But there was no one, just my truck, and the open gate swaying in the wind. Probably interference, I told myself. Or maybe the wind playing tricks. I clipped my harness again and kept climbing. The higher I went, the worse it got. The wind picked up. The steel creaked and groaned. At one point, something brushed my boot, soft, like fingers. I looked down fast. Nothing there. About halfway up, I saw something hanging from one of the rungs, a safety harness. Old, sun-bleached, still clipped in. The rope was frayed and dark at the end. I touched it. The nylon was stiff and sticky. I told myself it was oil, but deep down, I knew better. A few feet higher, I found a cell phone jammed between bolts. I pulled it out. The screen cracked, but it lit up right away. There was one voicemail. It played on a loop. First wind, then heavy breathing, then a scream that cut off halfway through. I dropped the phone. It fell, hit a rung, and disappeared into the dark. My stomach turned. Something was wrong with this tower, but I couldn't stop. Maybe pride, maybe stupidity, or maybe I just didn't want to admit I was scared. By the time I reached the top, the sky was darker, thick with clouds. The main dish was gone, torn off completely. In its place was a black capsule, bolted to the platform. It gave off a faint hum I could feel through my gloves. I crouched down. The bolts were loose, like someone had opened it before. I pressed my ear to it. I swear I heard something, a heartbeat. Slow, heavy. "This can't be part of the job," I whispered. I should have gone down right then. But the climb had taken so long, and the money was still waiting. I told myself I'd just check inside, maybe fix a loose wire, then leave. I turned the latch. The capsule hissed open. Inside were black wires coiled together, pulsing with a dim blue glow. The hum deepened. The air around me started to vibrate. Then, all at once, the tower lights around me flickered on. Miles of red beacons flashed in sync across the horizon. My radio came alive with whispers, dozens of voices, layered over each other, crying, laughing, all saying my name. "Jake, thank you. We can hear again." The steel rattled under my boots. I backed away as the capsule glowed brighter. A beam of white light shot from it straight into the clouds, tearing the sky open. The world went quiet. Then the clouds started to move. At first, I thought it was just the storm shifting, but then I saw them shapes. Long, thin limbs twisting out of the light, crawling down from the clouds. Not human, not even solid, like shadows made of smoke and glass, stretching toward me. I snapped out of it and jumped back onto the ladder. The metal burned cold under my hands. I climbed down fast, heart slamming in my chest. The voices followed me, whispering in my headset even though it was unplugged. "Don't run, Jake. Stay with us." I didn't listen. I just kept moving. Halfway down, my headset crackled again, but this time it was different. A single, rough voice broke through the noise. "Jake, if you can hear me, stop the signal." I froze. "Who is this?" "I worked that tower before you," the man said, voice shaking. "That capsule isn't a transmitter. It's a lock. You opened it." My stomach dropped. "How do I shut it?" "How?" Silence. Then he whispered, "You can't, but you can slow it down. Leave. Don't look back." The signal died. I climbed as fast as I could. The tower shook harder, bolts snapping free. The clouds above churned, lightning bursting in silent flashes. Faces flickered in the light, hundreds of them, pale and empty, pressing against the clouds. The last 20 feet, I jumped. I hit the ground hard, rolled, and ran toward my truck. Behind me, the sound stopped. I turned around. The tower was gone, nothing but black ash where it had stood. In the center of the scorched ground lay the capsule, half buried, still glowing faintly. I got in the truck, breathing hard, shaking so bad I could barely turn the key. The headlights cut across the field. Then my phone buzzed. The screen lit up with a new message from an unknown number. It said, "Thank you for reconnecting us." Then the screen went black. The radio filled with soft static, rising and falling like breath. And just before I drove off, I thought I heard it again, my name, whispered from somewhere out in the dark. "Jake." That's when I knew the signal hadn't stopped. Whatever I woke up out there, it's still spreading. And maybe, one day soon, it'll reach you too.